Hi everyone, welcome back to Tea and Tarot Tuesday. I hope you're safe. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful Tuesday. I am actually pre-recording this right now on the full moon in Virgo. So I am going to be out of town celebrating love on this day, the Tuesday that I am usually um, in doing so in this service. So I thought I would go ahead and just pre-record, and what perfect day to record this than on the full moon in Virgo. So thank you so much for watching. If you are watching in this current time, we are recording in February 2024. It's actually the 2-4 portal. The 2-2, I guess you could say the 2-2-4 portal. But so wonderful coming back again. So I hope everyone's energies are holding up okay. We have had quite the collective of energy this week. There's been a lot going on, especially leading up to this full moon. You know, full moons are the end of the cycle. In fact, I'm kind of far away today than I usually am because, well, I kind of like it because now you can see the cards a little bit. But I also really want to be able to see the full moon. So it's like right here outside my window, and it's just way too beautiful to not have recording. So I hope you can hear me okay. I'm trying to project, but yeah, I love looking at the moon and the full moon. And I went and got a chance to check the sunset out tonight, and just been trying to enjoy this beautiful sunshine of the week, especially with the energies. Venus is now in Aquarius, as well as Mars and Pluto in Aquarius. Here's Tony wanting to say hello, wanting me to feed him again. But so his presence is here. Grandma Tony Popsicle, she's with us. My grandma reincarnated and wants to say hello. But I do hope you have your tea as well. I'm gonna have to move around him because he likes to be right here. I hope you have your tea. Watch, he's gonna pop a squat right next to me. That's cool. I actually am excited to just kind of see what's going on. Tony, can I have my... Thank you. I love you. Oh, we're gonna fight? Okay. He's like, get out of my spot. I do want to kind of chat about some of the interesting energies that we can look forward to, or we can prepare, or at least work on some focal points for this full moon. Like I said, full moons are the closing of cycles, the ending of cycles, right? So what from the time of the new moon that was in the new moon that was on the 9th of February, and this full moon here, from between that time, those 2 weeks, what have you noticed has opened, has begun the cycle, and then now is closing out? One of the main themes that I'm personally purging and releasing as a divine feminine, but also the divine feminine collective, I am hearing consistently in readings of the energy is breaking out and breaking through. I'm going to share and the release of codependency. So I'm going to share some notes that I took from one of my favorite. She considers herself a twin flame astrologer. Her name is Kay Moon. You can follow her on YouTube. I really enjoy her. But she talked about when she was reading about the full moon, and she did some really beautiful research. And I do encourage you to go check out her channel for the full in-depth. It is a beautiful, beautiful reading. but she did some really great research about tools for transcendence, tools for transcending the, the closeouts. Tony's tail is getting moving all of the cards. It's funny. Some tools she recognized, because since this moon is a moon, this full moon is a closeout of ending cycles of codependency. She listed the top 10 biggest blockages for souls that are trying to, divine counterparts, divine souls that are trying to come together in love, or in other words, if you understand this language, twin flames coming into union, and what stops you and what the blockages and the main ones. And I thought it was fascinating, so I had to take notes, and I wanted to share that with you. But again, no copyrights. I did not. I'm just giving all the credit to K Moon, because she did the research. I just took the notes and just sharing it with my small platform. She's got a much larger platform than I, but I thought it was really fascinating. And then I would love to pull some cards on, some tarot and some spirit Lemurian guidance on what we can take into account. Now, right now, the cards that are facing me, kind of bottom of the deck from the last energy that just kind of is still a little bit here, but I am going to shuffle and clear them so that we can have more. But I do love the idea of all of this. But Lemuria, we have a new blueprint right at the top of the deck, and I liked that a lot, because as we are closing this full moon, we are incorporating and releasing all of the, again, the blockages that are keeping us from being in our highest soul union, our highest soul self. Oh, sorry, I keep looking over at Tony because he's probably going to try to jump up on this counter, and I love when he does that, because then I got to be a cat mom. And I really, oh, he's doing good. Good job, Tones. So anyway, the new blueprints, number 38. See if I can get a little closer. Hi, Moon. Come through. Number 38. New blueprints. 38 reduces to 11, and merging with the divine. Now these were actually these are a couple of the cards that were pulled from the 222 portal, the 222 portal, just a couple of days ago. And that was a really intense energy as well. I mean, when I tell you that the collective is shifting and transcending and ascending, I mean, I feel it from the depth of my soul. I have been purging and releasing all week long, since last week. I mean, since the new moon, to be quite honest, these last couple weeks. And then, it just really has continuously had the collective overall clearing of codependency and healing in our inner, child wounds, healing old relationship, pain body experiences. And I love the soul star chakra. That's the highest, that's actually the chakra that comes after the crown, the soul star. I like to call it the Christ consciousness, and that is the 8th chakra, so to speak, from the way that I count chakras. And we are in the year 8, 2002 plus 2 plus 4, right? 2024. And so now Lemuria, or Izzy Ivy, counts it as the Lemuria counts it as the 10th chakra, because she also is counting in the soul star chakra, or the earth star chakra, which is underneath your root, underneath your it's based at the bottom of your feet, and so that's considered the first chakra in her guidance book of Beyond Lemuria. And then she also has 2 chakras in the heart chakra. The heart chakra, which is unfurling back to love, and that is the green aspect of the chakra. And then you have the high heart chakra, which is ecstatic bliss, and that is the pink color of the heart chakra. And then and then it goes up to and then, you know, to the rest, and then the soul star is the 10th. So very interesting. The Four of Swords is where the divine feminine has been at, as very, very intuitively such. She's been doing a lot of rest, recovery, reflection, transmutation, right? Energetic transmuting. And the swords are like above her, almost as like protection, like rebuking is what I see it as, rebuking the energies that are trying to come in, that have been trying to come in order for her right underneath to clear her path, in order to clear her energy, in order to clear her path to set sail on this new journey. The collective divine feminine and masculine energy is an Eight of Cups, you know, has been in this Eight of Cups, walking away from what is emotionally not serving, right? Codependency is an emotional addiction to, relying on other people's validation of you emotionally, and which causes you to people please overtly, causing you to give your energy where your energy does not need to be given, or take on responsibilities that are not for you to take on, right? Feeling responsible for other people's happiness, other people's success, right? Other people's energies. If I say this, are they going to do that? So I'm not going to do this because then they'll feel this way. Or I am going to do this because then they'll like me more, they'll love me more, they'll do this for me later. And it can be reversed and be emotionally manipulated onto you. And I think that is what we're walking away from as well, is people, right? Because the Hierophant is underneath. The traditions, the traditional ways of controlling each other emotionally by saying things like, well, if you're not going to do this for me, then don't be mad when I don't do this for you later, right? If you're not going to scratch my back, I'm not going to scratch yours, which it's kind of a distorted version of excuse me, almost choked right there. It's right. Some don't want me to say it. It's kind of a distorted version of reciprocity, in my opinion. You know, we have high vibration and low vibration, right? We have a high vibration feminine and masculine, and low vibration feminine and masculine, this distorted feminine masculine, which alter the roles and the energies of how the feminine and masculine is supposed to show up. So when you think about it in that sense as well, this kind of idea of conditional love. I'll love you if you do this for me. I'll accept you if you act this way for me, right? Or I will do this for you, or vice versa. You should do this for me if you want me to do this for you, kind of thing. And unfortunately it is a toxic back and forth transaction. It makes love become a transaction as opposed to a dance, is what I hear. Love is supposed to be a beautiful dance of exchange of energies, of exchange of, acceptance and abundance and joy, right? Love is a dance of patience and kindness, right? That's the reciprocity of conscious love, right? And we're on this journey to conscious love, right? This is my calling. That's my mission, right? To heal the heart of a woman and the soul of mankind in conscious love, right? And so when we can recognize the difference between reciprocity, right? The healthy balance of give and take, the healthy exchange of give and take, and the unhealthy, the distorted, the toxic balance of the transaction of give and take, right? that's where we can really find harmony and release that codependent nature. Okay, so I know I'm 15 minutes in. I love talking about this. I did just see 1515, so that's, you know, beautiful. I hear that as like change and balance, because 1 + 5 is 6. Look at where the masculine energy, you know, is. There's a lot of love. Look at this. The masculine energy is in this space of reflecting on his emotional fulfillment and where he wants to, you know, I'm seeing it, you know, futuristically, where he sees his future, where he wants his future. And it was a really beautiful, interesting pool, because, you know, there was some heavy internal transmutation occurring within the masculine, where actually the 10 of Cups and the Ace of Swords were sandwiched with the Devil and the Tower in the middle. That is some heavy, extremely powerful energies of internal awakening, internal shifting, paradigm shifting, right? Releasing, internal purging, because, and it was so beautiful actually the way that the pictures looked, because the Devil card is, you know, the distorted version of the Lover's card, right? It's two humans that are chained and bound to this image of the Devil. And then there was the Tower, which is the picture of two people falling, flying, jumping out of this burning castle with this huge crown that's on fire, right? So it's like the empire burning, the empire falling, right? And that was what was in between, wedged in between the 10 of Cups and the Ace of Swords. Divine intervention is the Ace of Swords, right? With this 10 of Cups. And these are two people with this beautiful life, with their beautiful family, just so happy. So it was like such a beautiful story of just those 4 cards that said so much about where the masculine is at. And when I split the deck, this is where it was at. You know, the 2 of Cups. And then you had the underneath the Knight of Swords, action, clarity, decisiveness, wanting to speak his truth, wanting to go and claim what is his biggest wish and hope. And it's really powerful, and I absolutely love that energy. And what I even love even more is that we have Don Miguel Ruiz's 4 agreements here saying, enjoy heaven on earth, which, look at this beautiful synchronicity, the rainbows and the rainbows. This is the heaven on earth that, you know. And then let me just pull this up because it's here. I see the rainbow behind where the feminine is on her way to as well, right? She is on her journey. You see, there's no path paved in front of her, but she does have thy rod and thy staff to comfort her. She's trusting that there is her luck of gold, her wish fulfillment at the end of that rainbow, and she just has to trust in her intuition, trust in her heart and her passion, right? Really beautiful. And then we have this cute little card. I know these are all backwards, you can't even see it, but it says, I believe in my goals and dreams. So if that doesn't make this such a beautiful story here, just that's why I wanted to keep it here at the top, so that you guys could kind of see where the energies were at since the 222 portal. Okay, I believe in my goals and dreams, right? All these rainbows represent miracles. And then you have new blueprints. I believe in my goals and dreams, enjoying heaven on earth. New blueprints. So that's where we're going into. That's the cycles that we're closing out of, so that we can come into this beautiful, delicious, harmonious soul contracted union, right? So again, going back to Kay Moon's notes, I know I said I was going to talk about it and we're 20 minutes in, is the top 10 that she says. So starting from 10 to 1, 1 being the biggest, the 10th biggest blockage for twin flame union or divine union, conscious love union, is addiction. And addiction to anything, right? Addiction, codependency is an addictive behavior. It's an addictive reaction to someone else's addictive behavior, right? But it then becomes your own addiction, and the addiction to save, the savior martyr addiction, the addiction to be validated, sexual attractive addictive behavior is a thing as well. Gary Zukav talks about it in The Seat of the Soul, in The Heart of the Soul, his second book. There's addiction to anything, but then of course you have your traditional addictions to, drugs, alcohol, sex, rock and roll, and that's why I love that this is where the feminine is in, because she's really going within to release the and purify. There's so much purity and purification happening to release this, because it really truly is something that the feminine energy that we all carry within us is the first energy that comes through, and that's the concept, the conception of the dream, of the idea, of the plan. It is energy first, and then it comes through into the physical, which is the masculine energy within us, right? So the feminine is going within to purify, to hear from, to connect with, she's unplugging to recharge, as one of my good friends, Kyra, says, and has said since day one of, I just got a little pierce in my little kind of heart area, of day one of the soul cleansing, or my 21-day soul cleansing journey, the very first soul cleansing journey in 2016. That was something that she said that has stuck with me since. You have to unplug to recharge. And I know, even just from my own self, I took myself on a sabbatical from social media for the very reason to unplug, to recharge, so that I could hear what Spirit is trying to say to me directly, instead of getting distracted from the energies from, Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and even YouTube. I'm posting this on YouTube, and that's just about the only platform that I'm active on. And I do still, tune into some of the readings on YouTube, just because, those are some of my favorite intuitive astrologers and channelers that I trust with my energy. But feminine is being super selective on her energy right now. Why? Because she is conceptualizing the heaven on earth that the masculine and feminine are creating, that the masculine is bringing into existence. She is going within, purifying, unplugging to recharge, so that she can align her energies, raise her energetic frequencies and vibrations, so that it can lead the masculine energy to create this into fruition. That is the balance and the dance between the feminine and masculine energies. That's why we all need that balance of feminine and masculine energy within ourselves first, in order to be able to come into this external divine counterpart, divine partnership, right? So that was number 10. Number 9 is the fear of pain. The fear of pain, I'm going to start shuffling. Ooh, this one was wrong. Was flipped over. The Queen of Pentacles. Look at that. The fear of pain. Now let's talk about why this is here. Getting hurt or hurting others. That is the 9th biggest blockage for divine, conscious, loving union. And we have the Queen of Pentacles, which is the queen. That's very Virgo energy, because the Queen of Pentacles is like, get your shit together, boo. Like, we don't got time to be playing around. Like, you need to ground, you need to build, you need, that is the energy of this full moon Virgo. But it's also interesting because this full moon in Virgo is also about releasing that perfectionism, because Virgo can be extremely OCD, organizing socks. I only have a small portion of Virgo in my chart, and it's, ruled by Jupiter, in Jupiter. I'd be organizing my socks. It's crazy. I didn't know I did organize socks. I didn't know that was a thing until I learned that it was the thing. I didn't know you could fold underwear until I learned it was, and now I'm all about it. I didn't know there's a certain way you could fold towels to make them look nice. Now that I know, I can't help myself. So allowing yourself to kind of just relax and release the need to feel this sense of perfectionism. Queen of Pentacles is very stable, very, very grounded, right? Because she has, built this sense of security first from the internal, right? Because the Queen of Pentacles is the final queen in the tarot, and the Queen of Cups all comes through, right? You have to be, you have to have this confidence and passion, which is the Queen of Wands, and that's the first queen of the tarot, right? And that's confident, that's boss babe energy, that's I'm sexy, I'm confident, I'm sexy, crazy, cool, fierce and unapologetic about it, right? And then there's the Queen, I think it's the, let me just look. I think it's the Queen of, after Wands is Cups. Yep. So then you have the Queen of Cups. That's the emotional nourishment, because you have to match after you have this passion and this sensuality, right? Because sex and sensuality is the second to highest vibration that humans can experience on this plane, on this earth plane. Love is the highest vibrational frequency that humans can experience. That's why our sole purpose is to live to our highest potential and our highest energetic frequency that we have the potential to experience is love. Conscious love. And that's the mission that we're on. And that's why those who are on this, not just, light work, I'm here to raise the vibrational frequency and heal the collective and the heart of the woman and the soul of mankind. But not only that, my mission is I'm also contracted to reach this very highest vibration of love with another partner, the soul frequency that is in another human being, that is the very same frequency that I operate on, right? That is the mission for those who consider themselves as the title of twin flames, right? You are on mission together. You have your own separate missions as a light worker. And then you have a second mission to experience and raise the vibration for humans to reach the highest vibration of love. And that's healing the heart, starting with, again, passion, and then going into love. And then it goes into the Queen of Swords, which is, truth, right? Being able to have the clarity and the essentially the serenity to accept what you can't change, the courage to change what you can, and the wisdom to know the truth. Being able to discern your emotions from facts sometimes so that you can make the right decision in relationships, right? And then you have the Queen of Pentacles. And then once you have all those those queens growing and evolving, the Queen of Pentacles is like, all right, now we got our foundation. We got our foundation from within. Now we're planting it all, the mustard seeds of faith. It only takes one mustard seed of faith to move mountains, right? So that was, okay, I see that. And that's why it's the ninth biggest blockage, this fear of getting hurt, fear of feeling pain, because we do have to be vulnerable. We have to step into our vulnerability to solidify and concrete this, this beautiful, beautiful, divine mission. But this is all, and it's fear of pain. So that's, fear ain't nothing but false expectations appearing real. The fear, the false expectation that you are going to get hurt, or that you are going to hurt others, right? And that is based on our ego, and our ego is here to protect us energetically, thinking that it's here to protect us, right? Because of our past traumatic experiences. If you have experienced pain, or if you've experienced broken heart, or even if you've experienced, people around you get hurt and not have healthy relationships. If you have experienced, your love, your parents, there's the Star card again, But what we don't see coming is hope. The opposite of fear is hope, is what I just heard. And then I just heard here's the High Priestess. Oh, that's the King of Pentacles, but that's really not even the real one. And the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, and the High Priestess. So learning from within. I also heard the La Vie Boheme signature line from the Broadway musical, my very favorite musical, Rent, that got me into wanting to even do Broadway or musical theater at all. The opposite of war isn't peace. It's creation. What I just heard. And I see, here's the High Priestess again, and justice. The opposite of war isn't peace. It's creation. Justice, balance. Balancing the scales. High Priestess, taking those experiences and learning from them, right? One of my supervisors has her little, her little name under her name tag online has a little quote, and it says, I don't believe in losing, or I never lose. I either live or I learn. Ten of Pentacles with the Three of Swords, the fear of pain. Okay, so the eighth biggest blockage for divine union. Look at the Emperor trying to come out. Stability versus codependency. Bro, that's the eighth biggest blockage, and the Emperor just came out with the Queen of Pentacles again at the bottom. These are the two these are the two most stable of the, this collection. But the two most have the strongest energies in stability, the Emperor and the Queen of Pentacles. The fear of stability, releasing fear. But the biggest blockage is feeling stable. and codependency. Stability and versus codependency, and in a financial sense, is a really big blockage between partnerships, which makes sense because you want to be able to take care, right? Especially if your plan, if your vision and ideal life is to have a family. The masculine wants to be able to protect. That is a very primitive desire that is embedded in the masculine, to protect their family, protect their spouse, right, their partner, from harm's way, from starvation, and I just thought of like the owls have they have a mate for life, right? Their only mission in life is to find that mate for life, and then their mission with their mate is to protect their mate, keep their mate safe, right? Protect them from prey, and find food, and then love them all day, right? And sometimes I wish life could just be that simple, right? Like, and Spirit is telling me actually that life is that simple if we just allow ourselves to journey through life in that with that perspective. And I don't know if this is bothering you that you can't see the cards. Maybe I'll move it up. This is a beautiful little crystal apothecary that I got, and it's cute little. They're from my tea. This is how much tea I have. Tea and Sorrow Tuesday. Why not? But they have cute little little tea inserts. So I always save them because they're really positive, and I've just been like collecting them and posting them around my house. And I got this cute, beautiful little jar, and I was like, I could put these in here and I could make them cute little shuffle things. So like, for instance, I just got, in all things of nature there is something of the marvelous. Aristotle. Thank you. And so I'll move it over here so you can see a little bit better. But what I think that this is just really beautiful. Excuse me, sorry, showing leg. And I think that that's where codependency does stem a lot from as well. It's not just emotional dependency on others, but financial dependency on others, right? And that's where people can feel like they have lost power, their power. I know that is a very common limitation for feminine, for I guess you could say for women, less on the energy of feminine and masculine, but for women, because there really has been, sorry, I gotta see this moon, there really has been this blockage of being able to tap into your own internal masculine with all of the women rights, about our ability and capability to make our own money and have our own voice and make our own choices and decisions on what we do with our body, what we do with our strengths, what we do with our talents, what we do with our life, right? And that can cause a lot of literal dependency on a man. If they don't have any rights, you want to go outside? To themselves. And so, it is extremely important as a woman, as a divine feminine, and like I don't consider myself a divine feminine because I'm a woman, because I have been masculinely driven, predominantly masculinely driven my whole life, as being, born as in Aries. And so, but I do identify as a divine feminine. That's what I have preferred, and my preference of what, source and I've discussed, I guess, on a soul level. But again, as a divine feminine and a woman, it has been my mission. It has, and also my Capricorn is in North Node, or sorry, my North Node is in Capricorn, and Capricorn is stable, is the stability, and then Aries sign, Emperor, is the sign of the Aries energy, right? And so it is very very Aries to be unsatisfied if I am not planting foundation or stability for myself, because of this strong urge to be in my masculine energy. What's interesting, though, is that the divine feminine in me does come through to balance within my moon sign in Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the planet of love and abundance, and so essentially career and finances, right? And it's an earth sign. So to have a feminine energy in an earth sign is extremely powerful to have, to help balance out the energy, the masculine energy of Aries, which is ruled by Mars, which is the planet of war, which is a masculine sign, right? And Mars and Venus are in Aquarius right now. So we do have both the feminine and masculine sign in Aquarius while we're in the sign season of Pisces, which is intuitive and artistic and creative and very, very emotional and very, very tapped in with source. So use this time to get creative, to bring out, ways that you can expand your financial stability, and trust in your ability and worthiness and value, because that's where codependency comes into, is not feeling of value. And that's where I was getting at with being having my Capricorn in North Node. I keep saying that the other way around. My North Node in Capricorn is because North Node is your dharma. That is your future, right? Your life's purpose that leads you. And the collective North Node is in Aries, as well as Chiron is also in Aries for the collective. So that's the wounded healer, as well as our North Star, right? So using that energy, and the Aries is the first of the zodiac sign. So it's the fool, they call it the fool's journey, because they just go off of their heart. They go off of their passion. They go off, what spirit is telling them. So they don't have necessarily that kind of hold back the way that Virgo does. And we're in the full moon in Virgo tonight, right? And Virgo is, whoa, let's make sure this is all safe. Let's make sure we got every T crossed, every I dotted, all the ducks are in the row, in the line. They're all alphabetized. They are color coordinated and in numerical order before we can take the next step, before we can leap into that pool. If we don't have that, we ain't got nothing, right? So having to have that balance of, taking that leap, just going for it, trusting into your Pisces intuition, your Aries, spontaneity, and still having that grounding as the Queen of Pentacles and the Emperor to build, to sustain, right? You can have all the passion and love in the world, but if you don't have that passion founded on a sturdy, stable foundation, if you are trying to build empires on quicksand, honey, you can kiss that dream goodbye. You're going to continuously be rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding your empire, and you're going to burn yourself out. So bring in all of the elements, right? Let this Virgo full moon let you make the lists, check it twice if you need, take that step, but take the leap as well. Take the action, Spirit says, towards what you know is your heaven on earth. Okay, moving on. 7, the 7th biggest blockage for your twin flame union is unresolved baggage from past relationships. That's fair. That can be a lot of where codependency comes from too, right? Being fearful that it's going to repeat itself. That's called a pain body. Okay. Eckhart Tolle talks about pain bodies in his book, A New Earth, Awakening Your Life's Purpose. And the pain body is an experience that you go through, that your ego holds on to in order for you to be reminded by it, essentially, so that it could try to protect you, right? Once burned, twice shy kind of thing. Unresolved baggage from past relationships is really, really important if you want to move forward in union with your divine counterpart. You know, so really, really having that healing, introspection, doing things that help you release those false evidence appearing real, because it's in the past, which means it is not now. And if it's not now, it's not real. Period. So false evidence that was in the past. This new partner is not your past. This new partner is not your parents. This new partner is not even the partner that maybe have hurt you in the past, because the past was in the past, and who we are now is not who we were 5 years ago, 5 days ago, 5 fucking minutes ago. We are constantly transcending, transmuting our energies. Energy is fluid. That's why we grow. We literally grow out of our skin. We shed our skin. Our bones grow. Who we were a year ago is completely, on a cellular level, not the same person. That's facts. So how can we hold on to energy from 20 some odd years ago, even 20 minutes ago, when who we are today is a completely different cellular person and energetic person. Cellular person on the inside, physically, as well as on the outside. We don't even have the same layer of skin anymore. We don't even have the same nails. We don't have the same hair. So we have to allow ourselves to shed and release the same old baggage that was with that old body, because it doesn't match anymore. And that's what holds us back. We're holding on to energy that is stagnant, that is obsolete. Okay? So now we're going to move into number 6. Okay? Lack of boundaries. Yeah. Lack of boundaries is a huge one. I mean, really, really huge. Trying to control, not knowing when to stop, letting people cross you. Ooh. That is an out of balance, distorted, masculine and feminine trait that that happens. Lack of boundaries, right? Let me shuffle. Sorry, I stopped shuffling when the Emperor came out. But What you doing? The Ace of Swords. Yep. If that ain't divine boundaries, I don't know what else is. The Ace of Swords is divine intervention. The Ace of Swords is divine communication, is boundaries, is God's boundaries. You ain't gonna cross God's boundaries. Sorry. Come inside. Goodbye. Come in. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You are not gonna cross God's boundaries. That is full show. Which you gonna cross boundaries, so you know. What do you think about it? I know. Please don't put your bottom in the camera, please. Thank you. We are classy here. Oh, look what just flipped over. Huh. The Six of Pentacles. But it was kind of reverse. The way I was seeing it. So that is lack of reciprocity. That is lack of reciprocity. The Six of Pentacles is the minor arcana for, I believe is the minor arcana of the Justice cards. Because you see how he's holding the scale? And Justice is balancing the scales. This is supposed to be a reciprocal. I give you, you give me, right? We share. But these people that he's giving to are not giving back, right? They've got their hand out. But you see how this kind of photo, this one here, and at the bottom of the deck, look at that, beautiful. Three of Cups. That's celebration, right? When you see how this picture here, he's giving, but they're not, but the way that the picture is in this one here is that he clearly is of a higher class, right? A higher stature. He clearly is like the, you know, the prince, or perhaps even the emperor, right? Giving. Or the Queen of Pentacles, right? The King of Pentacles actually is the one that is the king that is about giving your, you know, sharing your wealth, right, with others, because you do have a plethora and an abundance, an overflowing abundance of finances. I just saw 5222, right? And so I heard Spirit say that is changing the alignment of divine alignment, right? Anyway, so when it's in reverse, we are not reciprocating healthily. There's either unrequited, you know, unrequited love is what I'm hearing. One party is loving more than the other, giving more than the other, and the other is receiving on the receiving end, but not balancing or giving back. Whether it's communication, boundaries, right? Stability. Yeah. Then that's going to cause number 5 to come into play of the biggest block. The 5th, top 5, lack of communication skills, boundaries and communication. Asking for what you need is also important. Asking for what you want is a worthiness thing. Codependency is a worthiness practice, a worthiness addiction, right? It feels like we're not worthy of being treated wholeheartedly, right? We're not worthy of being treated equally. We're not worthy of saying no, right? Because our worth is in the hands of others. So the reason why I was going back to this, of this guy with the higher stature, is that, you know, he's giving to them to balance the scales, because he is, you know, more privileged than the two that are asking, that are, you know, they look like, you know, maybe they're homeless, or maybe they don't have as much. So it's like this balance, right? Balancing the scales. lack of boundaries is not balance. But what we don't see at the bottom of the deck here is Three of Cups. That's your celebration. So you know, being able, honey, I love you so much, but you are all up in the show. You know, this preparing is what I'm hearing. Prepare for celebration, because, you know, if you are doing the work to learn how to maintain the boundaries within you and divine, is what I'm hearing. If you are listening to divine's boundaries of how to go about life, how to give and take, receive is what I'm hearing. Give and receive. Because you're not taking, you are allowing it to come in. You are allowing it to, you know, and something even as receiving a compliment. 5555, you know, and I keep pointing out these numbers because these are angel numbers, and they're speaking to me because 5 is change. And we are talking about how to change, how to shift, how to awaken, how to align. And in order to do that, you can't change what you can't see. Better yet, you can't change what you won't see. How's that for some apples? Okay, Spirit, you funny. Anyway, so look at this. Taking action. Because you have so much to look forward to celebrate if you are taking that action to stay in alignment with divines, with spirits, boundaries for you. And you know what? If you stay in alignment with spirits' boundaries, treating yourself with love, treating others with love and respect, right? Speaking goodwill unto yourself and others, sharing, healing, purifying, you know, not engaging with toxicity, but engaging into celebration, right? Love does not rejoice in evil. It rejoices in the truth. Yeah, look at that 8 and 8. Working hard to take action to stay within this divine boundary of clear communication. I'm even hearing there's going to be some clear communication during a celebratory event, you know, with your soul tribe or with friends, or maybe even clearing some stuff up with friends in a loving, celebrative manner. Yeah, I like that. So, continuing on, we have, sorry, I like to pull out how I hear it reading. Anyway, number 4, so we're in the top 5, right? So now we're the 4th blockage from twin flame union, from union with your divine counterpart. Lack of nervous system regulation. I feel like that one is really, really, really important, because that is where our fight and flight come in, right? Fight, flight, freeze, appease. And based on, you know, your trauma or experience in life, like we got the 8 of Wands with the 4 of Swords here as well. You know, based on, I just heard that from the 8 of Wands, and the 4 of Swords was like, that was either freeze or flight. But based on what kind of, experience you went through, what shaped your ego to believe that you had to react in a certain kind of way in order to be safe, right? That is going to stick with you for your entirety. Look at this strength. That's the Empress taming the lion. She's calm, she's graceful, she's connected with the rest of nature. Nature is, keen to her because of her balance within her own nervous system. One of my coworkers messaged me actually the morning of the horrific Chiefs Parade Valentine's Day, mass shooting. She messaged me that morning and said, before all of that happened, and said, "You were in my dream last night. You saved me from a lion." Girl. She said, "You were so calm and graceful, and I was freaking out." And I was like, oh my gosh, that is crazy. Like, wow, the facts, what are the odds that she would send that to me that day? Right? And I'm sitting here transmuting my own collective energy, as well as, this heaviness of collective energy that was clearly going on and unfortunately was acted out. Stay calm. So in the time of being in what feels like the lion's den, your nervous system, the way you regulate your nervous system, is entirely based on how you speak to yourself. Because we can't change what we went through. We cannot change what we went through. But we can change how our bodies respond versus react. And the difference between the two is reacting is ego-based. Like, whoa, like I immediately got this like jolt of like fight, flight, freeze, appease response. Whereas responding is taking that space between what just happened, action, and response. Really kind of like calculating, because guess what? The brain doesn't know what's real. The brain does not know what is actually really happening in the external, in our world, in our environment. It only knows what we think, what we tell it. It only knows, and I say what we tell it, right? Because we are the witness to the consciousness. Some of y'all I'm gonna lose some of y'all right now. We are the witness to the experience. That is the consciousness. To be able to have conscious thought, which means to consciously, decide how we want to respond, decide how we want to react, decide what we want to say back, how we want to perceive it. If somebody, in the grocery store looked at you sideways and you took that as a threat to your, egoic nature, you're going to think that person, your body, your amygdala, is going to respond in the sense of fight or flight, or freeze or appease, right? But you have to tell your brain, that ain't no bear. That's not a lion. That's just a person who probably just passed gas and looked my way. Like, we don't know. The 4 agreements. That's why Don Miguel Ruiz is so keen on the 4 agreements. To be impeccable with your word, to not take anything personally, to not make assumptions, and to always do your best. No more and no less. Because it's in those 4 agreements that allow us to really recognize whether we are safe and secure, or whether we are in, being chased after in the middle of the night. Like, she calm. She's the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck, but they come with a real substance of offer. Why? Because they're calm, cool, collected. They took their time to reflect, to really decide, is this worth me giving my pentacle to, my energy to? Is this worth me giving, a part of me? Is this person worth it? Is this activity worth it? Is this job worth it? It might take a hell of a minute for that Knight of Pentacles to get there, but when they there. They ain't going nowhere after that, because they have examined all possible circumstances and outcomes and pros and cons and alternative dimensions. And in all of those dimensions, if it points back to that yes, that's when they know. And so you can trust the Knight of Pentacles. And that's where the feminine is at as she regulates her nervous system here. Okay, number 3. And then I see 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. 1111, Gates of Heaven. That is union. But the top 3 barriers that prevent union. Number 3, make new choices from unresolved childhood trauma. Right? Learning to be able to make new choices. So once you tell your brain, I am safe, I am secure, I am nurtured, that is making a new choice. Instead of just egoically responding like, what you say about my mama? Right? Or freezing and running away and just ghosting. Or, appeasing and just saying whatever it is that you think that they want you to hear in order to keep the peace, right? Or doing what it is that they want you to do just so that they, you don't have to worry about anybody getting all emotional about, you don't love them enough and blah, 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 right? Once you recognize that this circumstance does not call for that kind of reaction, you then can choose, you have the choice, the beautiful, amazing gift that divine has given humans and most of living creatures is the ability, what are these bugs? I don't know what this area is about, but they got these weird ass gnats. I don't like it. I think they bit me. Anyway, I'm going into way too many details you don't need to know. Anyway, so once you are able to make that choice, right? They ain't bothering nobody. They're just doing their own thing. I'm annoyed with them because they're sitting there on the wall and I want a bug in my house, right? But once I decide that this bug is not hurting me right now, not at this point, at this moment. I don't know if they bit me and that's where my little bites are coming from. I don't know. Or whatever it is. But I know that in this moment, I am safe from these little bugs. I am secure. I am nurtured. I am comforted. I am significant, right? That is a choice. Cognitive development is a beautiful, beautiful superpower that is given to us just by being human, right? We can choose. That's where the evolution of caveman turned to the evolution of creating rockets, right? And artificial intelligence. If we can go from that to that, we can go from you are not my past. You're not the past pain bodies that I've experienced. My past experience is no longer real or of threat to me, right? This is just a reaction. This is just a pain body reaction. This is just the ego getting into mind and trying to protect me, but I'm choosing to tell the ego to take a back seat this time, that it is no longer allowed to drive, because I'm safe. I am secure. I am nurtured. I am significant. I am comforted. I am loved. I am lovable. I'm safe with this person. I'm secure with this outcome. I'm significant by myself. Right?